It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A baby boy is fighting for life in the John Hunter Hospital following a car crash which claimed his sister's life. The car, being driven by their mother, rolled on the New England highway at Willow Tree north of Scone at about 7 o'clock last night. Sonia Roberts from police headquarters says the 2-year-old girl died at the scene while her 11-month-old brother was flown to the John Hunter by the Westpac rescue helicopter,
where he remains critically ill. The woman, who's the mother of the children, was taken to Tamworth Base Hospital. She remains there in a stable condition. Crash investigators from Tamworth are continuing their inquiries into the events leading up to the crash and will prepare a report for the coroner.
Ex-Newcastle Knights forward Zane Tedovano has avoided jail time despite admitting to a series of violent, drunken attacks on his former girlfriend. The 24-year-old was ordered to spend at least 9 months behind bars in May. However, a judge has upheld an appeal against the severity of his sentence, instead placing him on good behaviour bonds. The judge was impressed with his rehabilitation and willingness to own up to his drinking problem. Newcastle City Hall's clock is expected to ring out again before Christmas. The restoration of the tower is expected to cost about $5 million, with parts of the ornate sandstone being replaced and hand-carved off-site. The next stage of work is expected to get underway early next year. Greg Sainsbury from Newcastle City Council says the tower is an iconic part of the city.
Oh, it's a part of Newcastle. It's part of its heritage. The cost of replacing a similar sort of structure would be far greater than what it's costing to repair, and it's part of the character of Newcastle.
Commuters can expect delays on the Hunter rail line from this morning, with 3 days of track work getting underway. There'll be limited services from Newcastle to Maitland, and buses will replace all trains from Maitland onwards. The Australian Rail Track Corporation says around $20 million will be spent on track maintenance across the rail network. The Royal Institute for Deaf and Blind Children is calling for more teleschools in the Hunter region because they can't keep up with demand. Teleschools use the latest video conferencing technology as a means of education, clinical and therapy services for these children in their own home. Institute Chief Executive Chris Wren says their outreach from the Hunter is widespread across rural New South Wales.
Our offices in the Hunter are one in Tingra Heights and the second is in Hunter Street in the CBD. And from those sites, we can go out to any location. I mean, not just restricted to the Hunter, we can go across the country, but particularly we can reach out to all of the North Coast and far North Coast areas and inland from there as well.
Another pedestrian crossing is opening up over the Newcastle rail corridor. This one will allow people to get between the Foreshore and Derby Street without having to use the nearby footbridge. It's the 6th crossing. A 7th is being planned at Civic Station, connecting the two platforms.
Sport for our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club, Fishing Expo, September 13.
Knights halfback Tyrone Roberts will join the Gold Coast Titans in 2016 after being released from the final year of his contract in Newcastle. Roberts signed with the Red and Blue in 2007, but the acquisition of Canterbury playmaker Trent Hodkinson left his position at the club uncertain. He departs with 94 first-grade games under his belt. After a stint developing his coaching career, Toronto golfer Nathan Green is returning to competitive golf. He's set to compete in the Queensland Open this week alongside a number of other Hunter golfers, including Jake Higginbottom, Aaron Townsend and Edward Stedman. It'll be Green's first competition since the Port Macquarie and Kew Pro-Ams in April. And in athletics, Bel-Air's Emma Hopkins and Lambton's Tia Young will represent the Hunter today at the New South Wales PWSA Girls Touch Championships at Parramatta. To NURFM News Time, 26 to 7.